Welcome to Confessions of a Wife, Mom, and Realtor, the Raw podcast, all about the messy, true lives of working moms in real estate. In this podcast, we talk about the hilarious mishaps and successes that are pretty much guaranteed when it comes to selling real estate while managing a family. I'm your host, Nicole Ward, the boots on the ground toddler mom who swears like a sailor and fails extravagantly, all while running my own real estate business. So grab a juice box and that basket of clean laundry that still needs folded because we're going to jump right in. Welcome back, mamas. I'm Nicole Ward, your host, and today we have Heather Prince on the show. Welcome, Heather.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I'm so excited. Every week we get to talk to a different mom and who is also in real estate. And we've even had a few animal mamas, and we've had some home inspector mamas, but mostly real estate mamas. So I'm so excited that you're here. So tell me a little bit, when did you first get licensed?
I got licensed in 2017, so about 6 years ago. And it just, I've not had a passion for, this is going to sound terrible. This is probably the worst thing I could say, but I didn't have a passion for real estate before. I wanted to prove to people that I could do it, that I could be a better agent than I saw other people being. And so now I do have a passion. It's spawned into a Humungadungus love affair.
A Humungadungus. Okay, hashtag that because that's a great hashtag. Humungadungus. So, okay, did you know anybody in the real estate industry before you got licensed? Or you said you saw other people doing it. So what was your motivation to get licensed?
So I have a bachelor's in accounting. That was my, stable job. I was going to make a great income. And I was bored, Nicole. It was not fun. The people were super dry. I mean, I love them. But so
we won't let them listen to the show.
No.
We're good.
They were dry in the workplace. That's what we're going to say.
Right.
And so I did know a couple local real estate agents, one being someone that I worked with, and he was all over the place. And I was like, you know what? I could do a better job than you. And unfortunately, I'm super competitive. So that's what was really my driver. And
oh my gosh,
I was like, I could be a real estate agent. I know, right? This whole thing's just going to be confessions. You had no idea.
Have you ever taken the DISC personality test?
I have not.
Okay, girlfriend, you are a high D. I'm calling it out right now. For anybody listening to this episode, y'all know the DISC personality test because we've talked about it before. Heather is a high D. I'm calling it. But okay, so when we get off this episode airing, you need to go take the DISC personality test. Just Google Tom Ferry, DISC, DISC personality test, and then take that test.
I will. And I'll let you know. I'll let you know if you're right. Even if I don't want you to be right, I'll still let you know.
I'm totally calling it. But yes, let me know. So you're super competitive and you knew that you could do better than this guy. So have you? Have you done better than this guy?
Oh, I have. I mean,
You're one.
Yeah, I won. I'm not done, but we're calling it.
Right.
So yeah, it was something that I've always done paperwork, kind of the accounting side of me. But then talking to people has always also been kind of fun.
Right.
So it spawned from there. I had a really awesome mentor that has been an agent for over 20 years. And she showed me the ropes a little bit. I don't know how you felt, but in the first 6 months, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to fail. And we don't
just overwhelmed.
For that to happen.
No, we don't. And I mean, it's you can't know what you don't know. So you don't even know what questions to ask to get the answers to start doing what you need to do. Right. So, I mean, having a good mentor and having a good coach or being surrounded by the group of people, incredibly important, I think, to any career starting in any business, but in real estate especially. Absolutely.
Definitely.
So 6 years in, got your license, but you're also a mom. So tell me a little bit about your family life and where you were in the family life when you got licensed and where you are now.
So it has actually been an amazing journey. 6 years ago, I lived in a 2-bedroom apartment with my son, working my full-time accounting job and trying to do real estate also because there is no
single mom.
Single mom, yes.
single mom, full-time job, living in an apartment with your son and said, oh shit, I think today I'm going to get my real estate license.
That's
Okay.
actually, yeah.
Okay. So where's the story? There's got to be a story behind this.
So I had my son super young. I was 17 and like we've grown up together. And so, I went through college with my newborn baby. I was married to his dad, divorced now, and basically raising him like on my own. But not on my own because it's a village really, right?
Of course.
So I have to say my mama has started helping me this past year. She's like my quote unquote admin, but she's also 70, so computers are not her forte. It is hilarious.
Oh, well, at least you have some help. I mean, anything's better than nothing, right?
That is super true. She will come and sit at open houses with me, and every house we walk into, Nicole, she's like, oh my gosh, this is so cute. And I'm like, Mom, this is outdated. Like they haven't updated this since the 90s. And she's like, it'll be really great for someone though. I'm like, yes, it will.
It will, because there's a buyer for everything. But I mean, how sweet is it that your mom, I mean, how many buyers out there are your mom's age? We work with buyers that are your mother's age all the time, and that's the style they're interested in. So that's actually really important to think about. What is currently trending and like really popular right now? Yes, there is a group of people that are looking for those types of houses, but there is a buyer for the outdated houses. They're out there and it's available. So yeah, absolutely. Good.
That's
good
super
point.
true. And that's why I don't really tell people, like paint over all your favorite colors. Let's make it neutral. Let's make it trendy, because if somebody wants that, they'll do it.
Right.
But that might appeal to another audience.
Absolutely.
So no, that's 1,000,000% true. I think I got off topic. Okay. So
how old is your son? How old is your son right now?
So he will be 16 in less than a month.
Oh,
April 2nd, he'll be 16, and he's already driving. So I got to cover up my grays a little bit more lately.
Oh my gosh. So is he your only baby?
He is. Well, I have fur babies, but he is my only human child. And Nicole, I couldn't take any more. Like he knows everything.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's like a teenage boy thing, but he's known everything forever. So
I think that's just a kid's thing, because my little girl thinks she knows everything too. So yes.
You'll have to let me know how that goes. I've heard like, sometimes boys are easier than girls. Sometimes girls are easier than boys, but
my 2-year-old girl is the bossy, like, I know everything and let's follow all the rules. My 1-year-old boy is into everything. We call him the tornado, and his nickname is Death Wish because he just gets into everything. And then I actually have an 18-year-old that's getting ready to graduate from high school in like 2 months. So
okay. Yeah, no, you'll have to let me know how that goes too, because I'm not
prepared. Not prepared for the empty nest. It's really, really hard. But okay, so I want to rewind here, because you've said some really important things. You got your real estate license when your son was barely 10 or around 10.
Around 10.
So, and do you have another job right now, or are you full-time real estate?
So full-time real estate. I did work as an accountant up through the pandemic. And then I was like, look, if I'm putting in all of these hours a day, why am I doing it for a company that, like, it's not really going to better me in the long run? They just keep wanting more and more.
Right.
So
and you're not growing yourself.
Exactly. And it was taxing. It was hard. Which I know, the past couple of years has been a lot of change and a lot of hard for everybody. But that's when I made the leap and I was like, you know what? I can do this full time. I am building up, reaching out to my sphere and building up my referral base and knowing my community better. And so that's when I decided to go full time. Like the training wheels were off. The seat was on fire. We were going.
So how's it been going since you went training wheels off, full steam ahead, and full-time real estate? Like, how's that been going for you?
So kind of in the aspect that I don't like to lose. I'll be honest, my son questioned it. He was like, you're leaving your salary full-time job? Like, oh my
With
gosh,
benefits?
we're going to go bankrupt. We're going to lose the house.
Okay, so your son questioned it. He questioned.
He did.
Okay, so tell me about that. Why did he question it?
So I had told him his whole life, I'm like, I have kind of a safe job, right? It's a salary. I work, more than 9 to 5, but I was like, we're going to get paid regardless of if I sell a house or not.
Right.
So going to this, full-time commission only, he was like, Mom, I don't know if you can really sell things.
I bet that just lit a fire under your ass, didn't it?
It did. And
Yeah.
every day that I'm like, oh, this deal's so hard. Oh, I don't know if I can work with this. I think about that when he was like, Mom, we're going to lose the house. And I'm like, I could sell the house. We are not going to lose the house. That's the beauty of it.
Okay. So how does he feel now that how does he feel now? I'm so super curious about this.
So it's actually, he's come around a little bit. I am one of those super embarrassing, super loud, super present. Like I have everything branded, letting people know I sell houses.
Mm-hmm.
And so I force him to be involved with me. Like he'll walk in the local parade with me, him and his friends, because he's like, oh my gosh, my mom is making me do this. You have to know what to do. So he has the Heather Prince realtor shirt. And anytime he's like, Mom, seriously, don't post that TikTok. I'm like, that TikTok is going to help pay for the new shoes that you want. So he's come around a little bit.
It takes a different mindset. And absolutely, that house is going to pay for those shoes. We've kind of had to go through that with our son too. And Blake, if you're listening to this, I love you, but you're a pampered little shit. Life is going to come to a point where you are going to realize that those shoes that you want are really expensive and you have to work a whole week and get a paycheck and pay all your bills. And then whatever's left, you might be able to buy those shoes with. You know what I mean? So,
oh, that's so true.
And your son will learn it too. Does he work? Does he have his own job?
So he does not right now. He's reffed for soccer, and that was like a super awesome, starting job for him. Also, I wanted to teach him respect because I don't know if you know, but a lot of times in sports, they're like, oh, it's the umpire's fault. It's the ref's fault. I lost that game. Right. I'm like, well, now you're in that position that somebody's going to be like, this ref blew the game for me.
Right.
So we are looking into summer job, which several times I'm like, manage my media, manage my marketing. And he's like, no, I don't want to be involved in that. And I'm like, okay, well then I'm going to take a picture with you and post it everywhere. That way everybody knows you're involved with it and you don't get paid.
Oh my gosh. So what is he deciding to do then?
So, we've looked at a couple different, things. I'll be honest. I think it might be the same as your oldest. He doesn't want to go out and,
get a job.
He doesn't want to do those things.
Oh boy. Well, luckily he's still 16. So my guess is he a sophomore?
He is.
So he's still got 2 years left of high school. He's got some time. And, my son was big into basketball. In fact, it was really hard last week. He had his last ever basketball game, senior varsity basketball game. It was so, it was a lot. Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot for him because he's played basketball his entire life. And now that he's a senior, he's going off to college. He's not playing basketball in college. So it was his very last game ever. And that was just heartbreaking in so many ways. But he's always played basketball. So he's never really had to get a job or work because when he wasn't in season, they were conditioning. Yes. But now he's done. And he's going off to college in August. So he needs to get a job. He's got to get a job, though. He needs that money for school. I'm not paying for everything while he's at school. And I don't, that's the way it goes.
No, so, we've talked about that too. My son, his name's Apollo. He's super smart. And I'm like, look, if you get, the full scholarship, free ride somewhere, you're taking that. And if you don't, and you decide to go somewhere else, I'm not footing the bill just because you want to go somewhere else. Right. You can figure it out.
Yep. Part of growing up and adulting and, learning how to be an adult and pay your own bills. Absolutely. So tell me about a time in the last 6 years that you've been licensed that was probably the hardest time for you. A really, really difficult time.
Oh, Really, really difficult time. I mean, I feel like there are some clients that you bond with like automatically, and you want to
Mhm.
help them like get into somewhere, their perfect house. And so over the past couple years with inventory low and a lot of buyers looking, I
Mhm.
have had some first time home buyers that, have missed out on the house
Gosh.
and then felt absolutely crushed.
Yes.
And those I think are the hardest, because I don't know if you noticed, but I try to be overly optimistic about everything, because I think that, you need to manifest that. You need to put that out into the world, and you're not going to have a good outcome if you're just a negative Nancy.
Well,
Sorry
not
to
only
all the
that, but
Nancy's.
people feed off your energy. Your clients feed off of your energy. So if you're manifesting and you're trying to be positive and you have positive energy on a regular basis, your clients will know that. And when they send referrals, those referrals will know it too.
And that's, I think, what kind of helps, if we miss out on this house, we look at it like, okay, that wasn't the house. The
Right.
house for us is out there. Let's not be crushed. Sometimes it's harder, harder to get over than just saying the words, but those are the challenges.
I would say I would have to agree with you that that's definitely very challenging. In fact, I was just on Facebook. I don't know if you're friends on Facebook with a lot of your past clients, but I am.
Yes.
And one of my Facebook clients, she would just die if I named her. So I'm just going to call her KK. Cuz KK, you know who you are, KK. Um she commented, I just wrote an offer on a house that had 24 offers on it and we won it.
Oh,
Unbelievably,
wow.
we won it out of 24 offers, right? And I posted about that and she commented and she said, "Man, I don't miss those days." And I was thinking about her. She was one of those first-time home buyers that had unconventional financing. So she had FHA financing.
Yep.
Impossible to get an FHA buyer under contract during this COVID craziness. It was just
Yeah.
nuts. So, I mean, I must have written 30 offers for these people, 30 to
Oh,
40 ish. And not one of them. And at the end of the day, we got them into, I'm not even lying, it was a for sale by owner who didn't know what they were doing, and my job was not to represent them. My job was
yeah.
to represent my clients, and we did it, and we got them into a house with a for sale by owner. That's the way it worked.
That is amazing. Right there. That is amazing.
Yep, but I feel you, and they had a hard time, and I'm sure your clients, those first time home buyers, they've had a tough couple of years. So I feel you. That's hard. That's really hard.
Especially with, like you said, unconventional financing, it does make it a little
Harder.
harder.
Yep. And we have so many buyers in Ohio that are cash buyers out of Arizona, California, Colorado. They're investing because the housing market is pretty cheap in our area. So,
Yes.
okay, so I actually have one more question for you. And I don't know if you knew it
Okay.
was coming or not, but my big question, and most people stay on these calls all the way to the very end, just to listen to this question. So I have to ask. The show is called Confessions of a Wife, Mom, and Realtor. So tell me
Yes.
what your confession is.
Oh, my confession. Okay. I feel like a lot of this has been like me realizing the reason I got into this and then developing my passion. This is kind of like a therapy session, Nicole. So this is great. We can do this every week.
Okay, I'm down. You can join our mom's call. We have a mom's coaching group that we do every Wednesday. You are more than welcome to join us.
There we go. So yes, okay, my big confession, I will say, it has been hard. A lot of people think real estate agents have flexible schedules. We can
Right.
do whatever we want whenever we want, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. But
um
that's not true.
so
I mean, we all know
it's
that, but
not true. And I have, had to sacrifice a little bit of, I've missed some soccer games, or I haven't, my son's walked home in the rain because I have a showing far away. So I think it's been hard to not be 100% there for my son. At least in like the present way, I'll always text him and be like, good luck on this game, score me a
right.
goal. I owe you dinner. But I think, looking back, it's been totally worth it. Every sacrifice we've made, I don't know about you, but, wearing heels at an open house and then later regretting that immediately because you have
Right.
blisters.
Right.
So all of the sacrifices we've made, it is hard and it does kind of take a toll on you. I don't know how fathers do, but as a mother, that's been very hard, but it has been worth it. Like
It
even though
is.
writing the 30 offers for a client, you remember that and
Mm-hmm.
it meant the world to them in the end.
Well, that is a great confession, and you are not alone in feeling that way. I'm telling you, there are moms out there that have missed a lot in this industry. And I've talked to other moms on the show that have missed a lot, and some of them feel like it's totally worth it because of where we're at right now. And some of them have regrets and wish they would have done things a little differently when they first got started. But I think I'll have to really think about it, but I think you are the first mom I've brought on this podcast that has been a single mom, starting off in the industry and doing it the way that you've been doing it. Most of the moms that I've interviewed have all had some sort of spousal support or significant other support. And I know it takes a village, and you have your mom and you have your friends and you had a good job. But kudos to you for making the sacrifices and doing everything you need to do to give your son a better life, because that's just amazing. So
thank you.
I love it.
Thank you. One day he'll appreciate it, right?
He will. Oh, he will. You just wait till he gets out there in the working force, makes $50,000 a year working his butt off. And he's like, why don't I just go join the family business and make more money than that?
Yeah, why can't I get Jordans on my starting wage salary?
Exactly. So if any of our listeners want to get a hold of you, what would be the best way for them to get in contact with you?
So, girl, I am everywhere. Like I said, everything's branded with my cell phone number, 330-614-3715. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Carrier Pigeon, and my son plays soccer. So you'll probably see me out at every soccer field.
That's going to be the title of our episode, I think. We're going to call it Schmuckducker, whatever you said at the beginning, and Carrier Pigeons with Heather Prince.
And you know what? Everyone that knows me will be like, yeah, that's
I literally may title the episode that way. So thank you very much for the title. All right, everybody, you know how to reach out to Heather. If you do, stay tuned for next week's call. It's going to be fantastic. And we'll see you mamas next week. Hey, mamas. Thanks for tuning in to Confessions of a Wife, Mom, and Realtor. If you like today's confession, make sure you subscribe to hear more juicy stories from other realtor moms like you. See you next week.